Live.
You're hearing me.
Okay, well, calm down, Devin, with your sound.
Easy there, bro.
Yeah, we
What are you
don't.
talking about?
You heard that, right,
Coming off
Greg?
a little. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, he heard it.
Heard
I
what?
still hear.
We can hear ourselves through your mic. This dude didn't even look at his mic between last week and this week.
There's nothing. I don't know how you're hearing
In fact,
it. Unless
it's
you're hearing
worse. In fact, it's
That's
worse.
why I have a. That's why my mic is an actual mic and my headset is a
I mean,
headset.
unless you're hearing it like straight, like from my headphones to the mic. I don't understand why you're hearing it.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe
because you
you're
didn't
deaf.
take any time to look it up.
I should have to.
All right. Are we live?
Yeah,
Your mom's live.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and start. I assume we haven't had an issue with being heard on Twitch in a while, so I'm just going to assume we're fine. Okay. I am recording.
You're fine.
Yeah, you're so fine.
Wow.
3, 2, 1.
Part.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cape Complainers. We are a podcast show where we talk about all things nerdy. It's a good time to be had by everybody. And joining me, as always, are the complainers. Today I have Tim and
hi.
Deb.
Hello.
I should have known better. Y'all never say anything whenever I say it. I was like, oh,
Well,
man.
last time I tried saying something and you talked over me, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. So this time, I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, from now on, just be on your toes. You never know what I'm going to do.
What?
My snack time.
What'd you say?
So today's episode, we will be discussing I believe it's on Adult Swim is where it premieres, and then it later comes up on HBO Max.
I think
but
it's
we were
straight to
talking-
HBO Max.
I could have. Well, whenever I was doing research on it, like whenever it first came out,
Guys,
said
stop
Adult
being
Swim.
stupid. It's on Disney Plus. Marvel came out with a brand new TV show, My Adventures with Superman. And
Yeah. It's from the same people who make Hellboy. It's great stuff. But so today's episode, we are going to be talking about My Adventures with Superman. It is basically, what if Superman was an anime? And it really leans into that. Like, it's got the classic anime intro and everything. It's a good time. But first, Devin suggested that apparently Nerd News is too long, so he wants to do a new little beginning show thing where he wants to talk about certain topics.
So, like a true psychopath, anywhere time I like drive home from work or to work, I don't listen to anything. I drive in complete silence. And in doing so, I am left alone with my thoughts, and random things tend to pop up. And
so do you just listen to yourself breathe? Is that all you do on a drive? Just
that's a loud drive.
it varies
for like an hour.
It varies. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sometimes it's like I'm thinking about work and what I need to do, but then sometimes I'm just like trying to enjoy my silence because I've had so much chatter all day long between children. Yeah. And then like intrusive thoughts happen or like random thoughts happen. And so the other day when I was asked you guys about this topic, one of the things that popped in my mind was just this topic of like baloney. Like, does it actually still exist? Did it ever really exist? Because like I know what it's supposed to look like, but then I think like I don't think I've ever had it. I don't know the last time I saw it in a store.
Hang on, you don't know if you've ever had a bologna sandwich?
I don't.
You've never had a grandparent fry up bologna on a skillet and then just give it to you and say that it was food?
Yeah, no? Like I guarantee you, as a 90s child, you definitely had bologna.
Same with Spam. You're crazy if you didn't.
I've never had Spam. That I know.
I call BS.
I actually do like Spam. Spam is really good, but I don't believe that you've never had bologna.
Well, okay, I don't remember having bologna. Because you know it's usually like ham and cheese and turkey and cheese and stuff like that. And so now I'm like, I don't go to the grocery store very often, but when I do and I'm looking for like those lunch meats, I don't recall ever seeing like bologna there anymore. So is bologna like the meat or is bologna the brand?
Bologna, I Googled it. Bologna is commonly made of beef, pork, turkey, and chicken, and it is
Yum.
finely ground and stuffed into a casing for cooking. So yeah, bologna is gross on paper, and it's kind of gross in real life.
So
But
it's
to
kind of like
answer
a
your
hot dog.
question, yes, bologna does still exist. I see bologna every time I'm at the store. You either are shopping in the wrong aisle, Devin, but bologna definitely still exists.
Okay, so I asked Casey these same questions, and now this is what she told me. She goes, "Yeah, bologna is the like that lunch meat that you have to like cut off the,
The
I guess
wrapper.
The
the
red
skin
part.
around.
That's the
Is that a
wrapper.
thing?
Yeah,
It's in
that's
a
the
case.
casing.
It's like you got to think of it. They kind of make it like a sausage, and so
So
they
it's
put
this.
all that the meat into a casing.
But like
Yeah, it's
when
like
I
a
eat
plastic.
sausage,
Yeah, it's
I
like a.
eat that casing.
Yeah, but it's like a plastic casing, and then they cook it, and then they chop it into a bunch of slices.
Yeah,
Why would anyone want to buy something that takes so much work
it's
than just
cheap. That's
slathering
why.
it on a thing?
It's super
It's
cheap.
cheap.
So's
That's
any
why.
other lunch meat,
Not really. They're like, I mean, I don't seem to
The
know the numbers.
people
I
are
guarantee
not
you, most is
slicing the
cheaper.
bologna up themselves. It's sold pre-sliced. I think
Yes,
you're misunderstanding
you.
us. All
Yeah,
you have is this thin
you
piece
can
of
buy
like
it.
various meats that you just
Yeah,
pull the little plastic thingy off.
yeah.
It
I
literally
think you
is a
can buy the
video
bologna.
game.
Yeah, you can buy the bologna unsliced, but that's psychopathic.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, nobody needs like bologna in itself is a depressing thing to eat. To have to cut it and make it yourself, what's the point of living at that point? So I'm just saying. Now, can I
all
ask
right,
you a question, Devin?
sure.
You may have said this, but why the hell? Why bologna? Why are you so bothered by bologna?
I don't know. It was just something that like popped into my mind. I think like the night before I was watching something or like on scrolling through Facebook and like the mention of bologna had happened, so it was just in the back of my mind. So while I was driving, I just thought like, I remember the classic like it's like in a round package with a yellow top on it stacked up, but like I don't
Well,
know.
maybe this is something you should have kept in the back of your mind. I'm just saying, like like yes, bologna is gross, but it's even grosser that you wanted to dedicate a whole beginning part of an episode to
I
bologna.
just I think it's one of those things that like people don't think about very often. So I was just like, hey, make sure that I'm not crazy.
Am I alone in this insane concept?
Right?
Yes,
And you know what?
you probably are alone.
Recently, I found out that I am not the only person who puts occasionally ketchup on potatoes. Okay? I found
I
that out recently.
I did, yeah, like 5-year-olds do it. So I hope
Yeah,
like I'm
like
glad to know you're not
a
alone in this
baby
one.
that throws all of its food all into one pile and then throws the plate onto the floor. They do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever told you this. My mom actually does do that. So I told her, I think she may have seen a clip of us talking about it, and she was like, "Oh, I think that's good. That's delicious."
Right?
So, so Greg's mom and Devin are the rare exceptions
Yeah.
who do ketchup
If
on.
you catch them on the street, you can tell you could probably beat them up. So just do it and take their
What?
money.
You have permission.
Yeah.
No.
Strike them in the back of the head before they hurt anyone else. Like it just needs to be ended. All right. Is that all you wanted to talk about, Devin?
That's all I wanted.
Well,
I could probably have something random next week, but that's all I had this week.
Okay,
It
well,
was
now
we'll
it's
have
bologna.
my
Devin.
turn.
The new thing will be thoughts with Devin. Like,
Oh.
doesn't matter if it's good or just asinine. It's
And
just
you know what? I felt like it was a good conversation topic. It was funny. It was weird. It made me look stupid. And isn't that everything you wanted, Greg?
it really is. That's why it's why I wanted the show. What about you, Tim? Do you got a ridiculous
Yeah.
thing?
What's the freaking deal with water, man? When was the last time you saw it in a grocery store?
I know.
It's like I remember seeing it once and then just
When
like
did,
never again. Like what
yeah,
the
when
heck?
did water become a liquid? Am I right, guys? I always
Well,
thought it was like a chewable. Like
okay.
when
Well,
did
if
it
you want to
become?
go down this route, my next question is: who thought that like carbonating water would be like, oh, let's do this. This sounds like a great idea. I mean, no, it's not bad when it's flavored, but like,
Do you
why
like
did
the
we even need it to
yeah.
begin with?
Do you like the unflavored taste of water? Now imagine if it had bubbles in it and kind of burned whenever it went down.
And
Like
made you
that's what
burp.
we're really looking for. Yeah, it's just like that's what people really need. Yeah. Well, thank you for that thought, Devin.
You're welcome.
It was very it was very thought.
Insightful. I
Yeah.
hope it.
Well,
I hope it provoked things.
no, it wasn't insightful. It was
Oh,
just a thought. Good
it
job.
was insightful for me.
Yeah, I'm proud. Well, since I don't really have much nerd news, I'm just gonna bring it up. Uh, the Saints Row developer, Volition, is shutting down 1 year after they did a reboot, and the future of the series is unknown at this time. I'm not surprised. I don't know if y'all ever played Saints Row, the new reboot. It it had moments where it was good, but it was kind of dated. It's just like this doesn't feel like a game that should come out now.
I
I don't know.
remember playing Saints Row and Saints Row 2 way back in the day. And
Yeah,
then I remember watching Flippo play whichever Saints Row that he played when we were roommates with him. And I
3 probably with the aliens.
maybe and I was like, what changed between 2 and 3 that made it so ridiculous?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like a lot of people really liked Saints Row because it was like GTA but a lot sillier. And Saints Row 2 was kind of serious, but it still had like silly elements. And so whenever people said they really liked the silly elements, they just leaned full force into it. So I
They
don't know.
just hit that gas pedal and kept going.
Yeah.
They saw a stop
And
sign and they just did not stop.
yeah. And then the other bit of nerd news is Jimmy Buffett passed away
Yeah.
recently. I believe yesterday or
Yeah.
two yeah, at some point
Yesterday.
he passed away this week. So there you go, Devin. I'm including celebrity deaths. I
I
hope
had that
you're
ready to go, so if you didn't say it, I was going to be like, also, so and so died.
okay. Yeah. Oh, also, random thing I found out today: the lead singer of Smash Mouth is apparently in hospice.
Oh.
So he is on his last leg.
See,
So
Well,
yeah.
the world starts running or starts going and don't stop going, right? I don't
Hey,
remember the lyrics. Something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh well. Oh well. So I guess that's it for nerd news and the strange things Devin wants to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into our topic. As we said at the start of the show, we're talking My Adventures with Superman. It is an anime style of the DC character Superman, and it is quite enjoyable. I think it's very creative. I like how they're reimagining certain characters and kind of creating a world of their own, and it's very fun. What are y'all's thoughts on the show?
I don't like Superman in general, but I really like the show.
I love Superman.
I like
What do
that
you not like about Superman?
he's just a dick. He's just so strong and like unbeatable. And that's actually I think what I like about the show is like he's got all these powers and yet he's getting his butt kicked left and right all the time. They don't make him like overtly powerful.
See, I disagree. I love Superman. I think he's literally like he's an alien, but he's the perfect human being. He's selfless. He truly cares about everybody else, and even though they can hate him no matter what, he'll still be there to save them. So that's one of the I love Superman. I think he's a incredible character. It doesn't bother me that he's stronger than everyone else. Like as long as it's for good, I have no problem with
And
Superman.
what about when it's not?
Eh, I'm kind of sick of evil Superman, to be honest. Like it kind of gets it gets overdone, and so I'm just like, okay, whatever. Give me good Superman. What about you, Tim?
Wholesome Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
What about
that's
Uh
what
you,
this
Tim?
one is.
yeah, I like this. I didn't think I would because a lot of the superhero stuff that has been adapted into anime has been kind of just off.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
Uh
it's really fun.
yeah. Yeah.
I figured you would because I don't know if I started watching it before the rest of y'all, but I was just going through HBO Max one day and just saw My Adventures with Superman. I was just like, "All right, well, sure, why not? It's an anime that might be interesting." It is a little weird in certain parts because, like I said, it is an anime, so it does like anime things. Like whenever he first puts on his suit, it's
Yeah.
like Sailor Moon style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like whenever
Yeah.
it's really weird, but as a whole, I think it's very
Yeah.
funny,
I
very
think
well written.
I think they took liberties with Superman that I don't know who wrote it, but it doesn't feel like it was written by someone that works for Warner Brothers because people who work for Warner Brothers,
Mhm.
they like to write things where they half read something and then they just make up the rest. It seems like they just made up pretty much all of this.
And that's what's kinda
They have
good about
like a
Yeah.
general
they use
concept.
they use
Yeah.
characters and everything. For
Yeah.
example, one of the best parts of the show for me, I think Parasite is a menace.
Oh, you
The
mean
Mhm.
Dr. Ivo?
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Ivo, but it's Parasite.
Oh, is
Let's
it
be honest.
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's Parasite, 'cause that's the name of his suit. It's the
The
Parasite
the
suit.
Parasite 1X or something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
Just getting
But
it right,
it's
Tevin.
like
It's like doesn't even
he's
pay attention to the show.
Yeah, I know.
he's like a menace, and I love just, like, how they kind of do certain characters and, like, change it up. I'm terrible at saying his name. Who's the guy, like, the tiny imp person? Uh,
Mixter
Yeah,
Mr.
Mixelpix?
Mixopix. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Mixelpix or something, whatever. Like, I know the character, so whenever he got introduced into his episode and everything, I was just like, "I don't trust you, but also they've done so many things different that maybe you might be good," and then he wasn't. I'm like, "Well, you son of a bitch." And so, it's a really neat show, and I like how they're kinda creating their own plan.
So,
Um
one of the things that I thought was weird, like you talked about the Sailor Moon thing, but when he goes like overpowered and he gets in that weird blue suit with the blue eyes, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where
The
he's,
real
like,
anime
getting
looking
beat up, and
thing.
then he's like, "Ha!" And then he beats up whoever he's getting beat up by.
Yeah, apparently they do something like that in like the current comic book run where Superman is John Kent.
Mhm.
Um, and like he apparently has this power now where he can do this like weird blue suit electricity thing
Is that the one
as
where
a
it's like a
different
blue and
power
a
up.
red Superman?
No, it's a different thing.
Okay, alright. I
Interesting.
just know at some point there's like a blue and a red Superman,
Yeah.
and they kinda
Yeah.
have electric powers, but I don't know. But to go back on the Mr. Pickalickalickum
Mhm.
episode, did y'all notice that whenever he opens that, door and everything with, like to get that little orb, all of, like, the different weapons and
Yeah.
stuff that were in there?
Mr.
There was something.
T's or Mr.
Yeah,
Terrific's orbs and
Yeah.
stuff and Dr.
yeah,
Fate's helmet.
they had the melee weapon from BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
They had what looked like the staff of Sanguine from Skyrim and everything. They had all kinds of stuff in there. Google the image of just the thing and just kinda look at all the stuff.
Yeah, I don't
It's just
remember
really
that.
interesting how they just threw in a bunch of stuff. It looked like there was, like, a sword from Final Fantasy at some point. It was just a very interesting, thing, and that's what's cool about the show. It it's not afraid to get into, like, a multiverse, which I know we all get sick of a multiverse. 'Cause that's just about every superhero movie that comes out now. But this one, it does it in a very interesting way that we've never seen before, like the League of Loises, I think that's what it was called,
Yeah.
all the Lois Lanes.
Yeah.
It's a really fun show.
I
Um,
so going into like things that we've never seen before. Like we've seen this before, but I like their take so far. Tim, did you finish the last episode
Yes.
on Brainiac?
Yes.
yes.
Like I thought that was cool. Did they every time they've showed the robots before, like this last episode, did
Well,
they have the Brainiac symbol on them?
I
I
don't
don't
think they
think
did.
so, no. Because the robots were inventions of, like, Task Force X. They just took the tech from
Yeah, they
Day
took the
Zero or
idea
whatever.
from them and then made their
Um,
own.
Okay.
Also, I on the subject, I think that guy, that is Zod. So I think
yes.
Zod and Brainiac kinda teamed up.
I think
Uh,
Brainiac is serving Zod right now.
yeah.
But I'm
For
looking at
now.
the weapons from that vault. Greg.
Yeah.
One of these looks like the sword from Berserk.
Yes.
One of them, I saw another one. I think the spear might be from Seven Deadly Sins or something. It looks very
Mhm.
familiar.
Yeah, it's just got a bunch of little nods to other
Weird.
things, which it's
Yeah.
like, why is this here? And like, is it all canon now in the DC universe or something?
Hmm.
But do you see the sanguine staff in Skyrim? I think it's like somewhere in the middle.
I don't see anything that looks like a staff.
Are you talking
Uh,
about this like spear thing with the big red triangle on it?
That's at
no,
the
it's like
bottom.
it's just like a gray staff, and it looks like it has a bunch of faces on
Is
it.
it
Like,
Oh,
laying
I
down
see it.
like this or
yeah,
upward?
lengthen.
Yeah, it's
It's
lengthened.
laying
Oh,
flat.
okay.
It's at the bottom of the like
Yeah, yeah, I see it now.
second.
Yeah.
It sucks if you're listening. Google it for yourself
I
if you want to know
know.
what we're looking at, because unfortunately you won't be able to.
Or don't
Um,
Google it and just try to guess.
Just
Watch
yeah,
the
watch the
show.
episode.
just imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch the show. That's the whole point. We're recommending things to you. Watch it. But how does this Superman in particular compare to past Supermans, either live action or animated?
I like him better. Just feel like all the other ones, like Henry Cavill's like great, but like every other one is, he was too serious 90% of the time. The
Mhm.
old animated ones were still too serious 90% of the time. This dude's a bumbling idiot the entire time, hero
Yes.
or not,
Yeah, and
and
that
that's
kinda
why.
makes him fun to watch. It's
And
like
that's
because he's learning it almost at the same time we are. Like,
I
we're watching him become the hero.
Yeah, I would equate it to the same as Superman when it was in Smallville. And I
Mhm,
would say that I think Smallville's version of Superman has been my favorite in media, like television media so far.
mhm.
Um, but also I want to say Superman shouldn't be a bumbling idiot, right? Because he can process things much faster than other
I
people.
think that
So
was the wrong turn of phrase. He's
I
just kind of clumsy. Like,
yeah,
he's not an idiot, he's genuinely smart,
I
he's
think
but
he
he's
can.
learning his powers right now.
Yeah,
he's
he can
human.
process things all he wants, but he has to know what he's processing in order to make it sense.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the reason why like he was so bad at keeping his secret. You know what I mean? It's not like,
Mhm.
oh, people just found out he was Superman because he didn't have glasses, but like Jimmy knew like forever and didn't bring it up.
Jimmy always knew but never said anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought it was cool just to talk a little bit about the cast. Superman is played by Jack Quaid, who plays Huey. I said Hubie, almost Hubie Halloween, the first mention in
No.
season. He plays Huey in The Boys. I thought
Oh.
that was a really cool, and he's really good in it. And really nobody else I really care about listing, but Jack Quaid though he's great. He's really great in the role. Um, to go back a little bit, I really like. I didn't think I'd like it. Have y'all watched Superman and Lois?
No.
No.
It's not bad. It's actually pretty entertaining.
Sure.
Um, well, I mean, I said the same thing about this show. I was like, "Oh my god, have y'all seen My Adventures with Superman? This is great." And look at us now.
I
We're
know.
talking about
A
your favorite.
whole episode dedicated to it.
Mhm. Have y'all watched the most recent episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
What did y'all think about the big uh
Twist.
the big twist of the Colonel being Lois Lane's
Uh,
dad?
First
Well,
off, it's the general. So
Oh
we
well,
already we already knew that that was gonna happen though, right? Like, I guessed it on episode 1.
that genuinely caught me off
yeah,
guard. I was just like,
it
I
did
was like, "Oh my
Really?
god!" It did. I had no idea, and
Okay,
so like,
because in Smallville, the general that's always chasing Superman is Lois's dad, and isn't Lois's dad a general in the army anyway, like, in normal comics?
I don't know
I
much about Superman comics, and I don't really watch Smallville because I didn't like Superman. Um,
I don't remember Smallville, so I was pleasantly surprised at this
Wow.
reveal.
and also,
So
I
Y'all
feel
are
like
just bumbling idiots.
we're Superman.
it may just be me, but I feel like I thought that in the show at some point she had seen the general at some point, which is why they were like, "Oh, we're looking for the general." and I thought she knew what he looked like. That's why she was helping him. Until I
No.
found out that she didn't know what he looked like.
No, Jimmy and Lois went to that little prison thing to get Superman out. They never interacted with the general. So it really did surprise me whenever that happened. So I thought, and that's what makes a good show, is that it just has to surprise you. And I was like, oh, I love it. One of the things that I love the most about the show is the runtime. I
Mhm.
usually always talk about like long shows just bother me. I'm just like for example, I started watching Gotham Knights,
Mhm.
uh, and it is stupid that show was an hour long.
But more on that later. On
Yeah, more
another
on it
episode.
later. I'm just like, that drives me nuts. But this show, I think it's like perfectly timed, and I'm just like, this is great, awesome. It
And
makes me
there's,
want to watch more.
I feel like a lot of animes are like, they have a bunch of filler, but I feel like there's not a whole lot of filler in this, if any. I
Yeah,
feel like something
I
genuinely
haven't been
happens.
bored in a single episode. I thought I'd be bored in the League of Lois's episode, but that one I'm just like, oh yeah, let's get into it. This is great. Like, so I agree with that. There's no bad episode.
I
I
will
like
say
it a lot.
their take on kryptonite is odd. Like, it
Yeah,
affects machinery and power sources,
It
and
affects Kryptonian.
it immediately, like, throws him into a state of blood poisoning just being near it. I
yeah, and
don't
it like puts
know.
like these little crystals on his
Yeah, he
body and
starts to
everything.
grow
Yeah.
like, it seems a lot more deadly in this than in any other Superman
Yeah,
media that we've had.
it's like instant he's going to die. It's
Yeah,
just
versus, like, just weakening and being able to get punched by a normal guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
To go back a little bit, there's a character that gets introduced in the Parasite or the Dr. Ivo episode called Alex or something like that. I'm 99% sure that's going to be Lex Luthor.
Mm. Yeah.
Was he
Like,
bald?
It shows
huh?
him in that last episode, he's watching the flame bird, and they're saying, "Turn off all the power," and it gives him one little
Yeah.
scene there. Yeah.
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 And like he's like Dr. Ivo's assistant and all that stuff. But like like his name is Alex, but I'm just like whenever they introduced him, I was like, Alex, Alex, Lex, Lex Luthor. And so
Alex
I
the
was like,
door!
yeah.
Alex the door! Alex the door! Lex Luthor! Lex Luthor!
Yeah, pretty much exactly how that
That's
was.
how it's
And
gonna
so
happen. He's gonna get
yeah,
electrocuted or something. I don't know.
yeah. But no, I think that's gonna be Lex Luthor. And I'm really enjoying the show. I can't get it. I really don't have any complaints about it so far.
Would you watch the same style done from other DC characters? Like, would you watch a Batman version of this or
Um,
an Aquaman version of this?
I think Green Lantern would be a good thing to see from this kind of anime treatment. Batman,
I
I
think
mean, you could do it. You could do Batman for anything.
I
So
want. I
yeah.
I don't want a Batman one. I want like his Robins. I want
mhm.
a show like this about like one of his Robins
Uh-huh.
after they ventured off on their own. That's what I'd watch.
Batman's a neglectful dad, and this is just their day, their normal day with dad gone.
This isn't
All the
Harley Quinn
Robins at
10.
the same time.
So what you're saying you would want like a Gotham Knights in this
No,
thing,
I don't want all of them. I want it to focus on one.
just
Like
one person.
I want to see like Nightwing in Bloodhaven, or like trying to figure out a brand new city all by himself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
with his
um,
puppy, with his one-armed puppy.
as I just said earlier, I don't really have any complaints about the show. But what about y'all? Is there anything in this show that really kind of doesn't work or kind of bothers you or that you have to say?
Lois annoyed the crap out of me in the first, like, 5 or 6 episodes. Like, she's
Yeah.
constantly lying to Clark about, "Let's, we're definitely not gonna put our lives in danger," and then she, like, throws, like, a whole tantrum for 2 episodes because he didn't tell her he's Superman.
Yeah.
That seems unrealistic.
I don't know, how do you
Yeah,
tell somebody you're Superman anyways? It's like something
And
you can't just like introduce yourself like, "Hey, we've gone on 2 dates. I'm Superman, by the
Yeah,
way.
and then
She just
literally the same episode that she's mad at him for not telling her that he's Superman. Or like the next episode, whatever. She
Yeah.
finds this orb that shows a projection of Superman destroying Metropolis, and then she keeps it a secret from him. Like,
Yeah.
what? Get your life together. Stop. What?
I know, like Jimmy is genuinely the best, like morally good friend
Yeah.
in this whole
Yeah.
show. Like he's just like, yeah, I know Clark is Superman, but I'm not gonna step on anybody's toes. Like when he's
Yeah.
ready to kill me, and like he's always like being truthful, tells him exactly what's going on, and he's a great character, and he's
Love
he's
Jimmy.
fun in the
And
show.
he's a millionaire.
Yeah, and now
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
millionaire
Yeah.
after the
Whenever you said the twist at the end, I thought you were gonna say that Jimmy sold Flamebird for 5.6 million.
Oh no, the much bigger twist. I think.
Really?
Um,
Because the
I
general
think
wasn't a twist, is all I'm saying. It
well to
was
you, but it
yeah,
to
was
to you.
anybody who paid attention. Lois was like, "My dad took me on survival trips."
I just figured she had a dad who liked to camp.
They didn't
Yeah.
say the general's last name for like 9 episodes. You didn't think that was weird? In the
I didn't think
military,
he
they didn't
I really
address
did.
him by
I
his
really
last
did.
name.
really.
I
I
mean,
just thought. I
they
just
call
thought that.
Amanda. They say Amanda Waller. They just call her Waller.
They call her
So like,
Mandy. They call her Waller.
I just figured it was just like a fun little pet name.
Let me
that he
And
guess,
I
had.
you're
kind
gonna
of
be so surprised when the dude in the black and orange is revealed to be Deathstroke, right?
no, I
What?
knew that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Deathstroke.
But
No
no, I
way.
just assumed that he's so busy doing this whole like army thing, he didn't have time for a family. And so I was just like,
Yeah,
he
What?
doesn't have a family.
I figured he
Who do
had
you
his own.
think he was talking to in the episode about Day Zero? Whenever he showed Superman, the
I
past.
thought maybe he had someone, and then he was like, "Nah, bruh, this is too important. We're breaking it off."
Yeah. I'm
That's
dumb,
valid.
Tim. Sorry. If I'm the only one in the world who thought
No,
this, then
I'm
yes,
not
I'm an
I'm not
idiot.
angry that you guys didn't get it. I'm just
Just
disappointed.
disappointed.
Well, you're
Yeah.
always disappointed in something, so I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you.
Well, I mean, I
Stop
really
being so
like the show.
disappointing and I wouldn't be so
Um,
Yeah.
one of
disappointed.
my
I don't.
favorite episodes was the one with the brain and
Oh,
the
Brain the Gorilla.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cadmus
I like that one.
episode. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Yeah,
also
that
a
was a good.
weird take on Cadmus, by the way,
It is.
Oh yeah,
because
super weird.
Cadmus is supposed
I
to be
thought.
evil, right?
Yeah, I thought the gorilla. Whenever you first see him at the previous episode, whenever he
Yeah,
first takes Johnny, I thought it was going to be Grodd.
me too.
I
Yeah,
thought it was going to
Me
be Gorilla
too.
Grodd, and so I'm like, oh, this is going to be really interesting, and it
I
it wasn't.
either Grodd or the other one that the other gorilla person.
The
With
good
the
one.
big brain thing.
No. There's a gorilla. So it's Gorilla Grodd, and then there's like the Evolutionite or something like that. Where
Oh
Yeah,
he's
yeah, the one with yeah
yeah.
yeah.
The
You know
one with
what?
the yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I'll
yeah,
the
look him
white
up.
monkey.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just really fun to just see how they're taking these characters and making them their own. I don't know how many episodes this first season is going to have. I think we're at episode 10 that just came out on Friday. But I'm really hoping we get a lot more because I'm genuinely enjoying this show.
I do have a weird complaint about how the technology that like all these rogues get in the beginning,
Ultra
like
Human
somehow
IQ. That's who I was
that's it.
thinking. Yeah.
There we go.
Somehow each time it malfunctions, they'll get these powers to become these like metahumans. Like that
Yeah.
to me that feels weird. Like everybody's gonna get their powers because they all had some kind of Superman technology.
Yeah. Well, I mean
And
that's not unheard of because they took all of the technology, or at least what was left behind on Zero Day, and they just kind of used it and adapted it to make weapons to fight whenever they come back.
So does
So
that
these
mean they're gonna
people,
be hurt by kryptonite too, since they were given their powers via
ooh,
Kryptonian technology?
that's a good point.
but
There's no
also
one
I
really
just
there.
think the whole Kryptonian technology connection that they added it didn't make sense to me at all.
Okay.
also
And I
How many of these weapons did they make like copies of? Because Superman came in pretty quickly and like destroyed a bunch of them like in the first fights, and then they were like, "Oh, look, we got these back, perfect condition.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go."
I imagine they have like a big armory of these things, because they are weapons to be used against this Kryptonian invasion if it comes to it. So I'm sure they have like a bunch. Um, what are some villains that y'all would like to see introduced either this season or just in the future in general?
Um,
I can start if we need to.
Metallo.
Oh
Metallo.
yes, yeah, Metallo.
I thought
I
the
think
robots at the beginning were all Amazos, but I would like to see an actual Amazo.
yeah, I would like to see Bizarro.
Oh,
I think this would be a really interesting little addition would be to add a Bizarro.
I'd
Like
like
somehow Waller and them get Clark's DNA and try to make their own. And so, yeah, I think that would be a really good introduction.
I'd
Or
like
even
for
Cyborgs.
Elastic Man to be introduced, and he's like the big villain. And it turns
Uh-huh.
out that he's just like anti Superman because Superman just can't hurt him with his fists.
That'd be a good one. I
No, it
would have
wouldn't. What?
said Well, no, I would have said, this was like I came up with, like, questions like this before, the episode came out, and one of my big ones was, "Oh, I would love to see Brainiac in this," and then the episode 10 came out, and I'm like, "Oh, well, there's Brainiac. This is gonna be this is gonna be good." How do y'all see season ending?
How many
Um,
episodes are supposed to be in it?
I don't really know. We have 10 right now. I might have to look up to see how many
I
are
think
coming
he's gonna defeat Zod and Brainiac. I think that he's gonna fight Zod, and then Brainiac is gonna turn on Zod and defeat Zod, and then um, do something. I don't know what he's gonna do, but probably bottle a city, and that's where it's gonna end.
Hmm. I'm looking up how many episodes are
I'll tell you,
gonna be.
the thing that confuses me, like I understand the whole concept of like, oh, Kryptonians were trying to invade during this time, but like, was he sent there to be an invader, or did they just send him there for safety?
I was hoping to learn that as well, but with Jor-El, with his memory being inside the ship's computer and the computer and the ship breaking, I don't know if we're gonna get that until much later.
Okay, I
Uh,
just read this.
No
My
way.
adventures my my adventures with Superman, is episode 11 is not part of the first season. The season has come to an end, uh, with episode 10. So apparently that was the season finale.
That was a good season finale.
Um,
It felt like a season finale.
I thought it was like a lead up to the finale.
Really?
I thought so. Well, that's disappointing. Oh well.
You must have heard that a lot, am I
I
right?
was looking Yeah, I was looking forward to it.
yeah, I
Oh,
also thought that, Greg, but apparently Tim's just smarter than everyone.
Yeah. Well, smarter
he
than you
really is.
guys, which is, not everyone.
Well, that's a shame. Well, I guess on that point, I guess the question would be, what do y'all expect from season 2? Um, but yeah,
I mean, it seems
it's
like they're gonna bring in Zod and Brainiac in season 2, right?
yeah.
There are
Ooh,
also
I
other
mean,
powers that we haven't seen yet from Superman that they're probably gonna bring in,
uh-huh.
like the breath and all that.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
guys think that they're gonna bring in other heroes
Yes.
I
in
saw a
season two?
fan art of somebody making Batman in this art style. That looked pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't think it's needed. I think we kind of just need to stick with Superman for a little bit before we add other people.
I
Do
don't
you
Um,
think
I don't think
that
it's
they would?
needed, but I think if it happens, make it a team up. Like a random team up like that one Spider-Man TV show that we watched, Evan. Remember?
Mhm.
The Amazing
I,
Spider-Man? Fantastic.
I was gonna say,
Or
do you
Simpsons.
think? I think
Happily
that if they do one, I think Green Lantern would be a good one, just because it's all space themed stuff.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I think that. Do you think that it's more likely that they're gonna bring in a hero, or like a different hero, or that they're gonna just bring up like Power Girl and Supergirl
Like
and
an
his
obscure
like family
like an
stuff?
obscure thing.
Yeah. Well, no, like his family.
Oh,
like other
Eh.
Kryptonians.
Again, I think it's a little too soon to be adding in because did y'all ever watch the animated Batman show, The Batman?
Yes.
Um, for like the first several seasons, it was just Batman, and then all of a sudden he gets Robin, and
You're
then
wrong.
I'm wrong.
I
Then what?
watched it recently.
Then what am I wrong?
Season one is Batman. Season two is Batgirl comes in, and about like towards the end of season two, Robin comes in. And there's
Then
only 3 seasons.
no, but then the Justice League.
No, I know.
hit.
There's only 3
God,
seasons. Robin's in it isn't in it very long before they start introducing other heroes in the last season.
you are so stupid, Greg.
Yeah.
No, the point is they need to kind of just stick with Superman for a little bit. Like just give him time to grow, like spread his wings, be the hero
Well,
that he. All right, then what do you want then,
no, I'm
Devin?
just gonna say that to be fair, if you're basing it off the Batman,
Oh, well, I'm not
they
basing
gave
it
him
off the Batman.
they gave him that time. They gave
I was
him a whole
using it. I
season.
was using the Batman
Season
as
one
an
is over.
example.
Now
was
season
using-
2 we introduce other people.
I was using it as an example, Devin. If
Well,
you
your
listen.
example sucked.
Well, it was. I only gave one example.
Give another one.
Can I have an example, please?
I don't know. Do y'all remember that?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
can I give an example, please?
Yeah, give an example.
All right. I don't have one. I just wanted to join in the conversation.
Right.
Is it the Arrow? Oh wait, no. In Arrow season 2 they introduce Barry Allen. Oh right.
Oh yeah. Well, shut up, Devin. How about that? How about that? Whatever. Well, let's go ahead and drift into final thoughts.
I win.
They
Genuinely,
introduced the Flash in season 2 of the Arrow?
They introduced Barry Allen. He's not
Hold
quite the
on.
Flash yet, but that's what leads
Oh.
into his show.
Let's see if Devin's wrong. Hang on.
Do it. Pull it up.
While I pull it up, tell us your final thoughts.
My
I
final
dare you.
thoughts. So far I'd give it and take it with a grain of salt. 7 out of 10 capes. I think it was a pretty good show in terms of anime, in terms of story. It had a good story. In terms of like a couple of weird things that they took liberties with, I kind of just thought were weird, but whatever.
I want to make a note that I
Um,
saw Greg's face after he finished looking at his phone, and I knew that I was right based off his
Yeah.
face.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
we don't need to-
Is it your turn for final thoughts, Devin and Greg? Is it your
Yeah.
turn for?
Yeah, we don't
Uh,
need to talk about
is
it, Devin.
or is
Forget
it
it.
my
Drop
turn?
the subject.
Or is
Just
it
drop
my,
the subject.
or is it my
Devin.
turn? Is it my
Go
turn?
ahead.
Okay.
Yes, it's your turn.
And then the kryptonite thing is dumb. I hope that they change it. I don't care if they make up any random excuse for it. And Lois needs to be a better partner to Clark.
Yeah. Support your man. Stand by your man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get your own
All right.
superpowers. Get him a
Devin,
coffee once in a while.
Devin,
Another
what are
thing
your
that pissed me off, actually, this really annoyed me. Where the hell did Superman get all those bouquet of flowers for their 1 week anniversary? Am I right? Have you
That's
guys
true.
purchased a bouquet of flowers recently?
How
That
much does
shit's
Clark make?
That shit's like $20. You
Yeah.
telling
See,
me
that's
that
where-
he bought $2,000 worth of flowers in one morning on an intern's salary? Bull.
No,
Loney.
actually, what I'm suggesting is that he flew around the world and just picked a bunch of flowers and then just made them
Nope.
nice with his super speed and put them in the,
He
in the
stole
building.
them. He stole them.
The
Stole them.
salary for a broadcast news analyst is $62,000 a year.
But he's an intern.
He's a menace.
Oh.
He's an
Let's see.
intern. He's an underpaid coffee jockey.
Well,
Yeah, like Tim.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Devin.
I got
well,
you.
then in that case, he would make around like $39.70.
And he has his
39,700.
own apartment. Oh no, he shares an apartment with Jimmy. In
he's got
the middle of a busy, thriving city. There's
Yeah.
no way. He stole them and he knows it. That's why he has to save cats out of trees. He's got to balance the karmic scales.
Yeah. He's got to get the reward money for all the pets that he
I
saves.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he looks at the bulletin board. He's like, "Oh, $500 for a cat? Hell yeah!" Like, just takes off and tries to find the cat.
He starts taking cats from rich people.
Here's your cat.
He's the cat menace.
Devin, what are your final thoughts?
First off, I just want to again rub it in your face that I was right. It was season 2
Drop
of the
it.
Arrow.
We're not talking about it anymore.
I enjoy it. I give it. Would you give it, Tim?
7 out of
7
10.
out of 10.
Yeah.
I give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoy it. I agree with Tim.
This
in the
isn't the
beginning.
Price is Right, Devin. You don't
I know.
win just by having $1 over.
Yeah.
No,
This
I
guy.
enjoy it a lot. I watched it on my own, and then I kept wanting to watch it. I find myself like laughing and smiling as I'm watching it. But Lois is super annoying in the beginning. She's like overtly like almost psychotic, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And a pathological liar.
I wouldn't say psychotic. I would just say that she's very passionate about this thing that obviously made Clark visibly uncomfortable. Like he wasn't trying to hide his discomfort with her trying to search out Superman. She just didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
And then when he said that he was uncomfortable with it, she was still like, "Oh, well then you're a pussy."
Yeah, then you don't support me.
You don't say that.
Sorry.
But I agree. Like I think Lois Moore has a lot of energy. I don't think she was annoying. She like Tim said, she was very passionate. Like she wants to be a good reporter.
Sounds like it takes one to know one.
You have to be really kind of I'm gonna go get it. And so I don't think she was annoying, but she just had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Greg, would you say that you see a lot of yourself in Lois?
Oh God, no. Absolutely not.
Do you want to?
But
that'd be a little bit of himself, Devin.
How many capes did you give it, Devin?
I give it 8.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
I knew it.
I'm gonna give it a 9. No, I actually really enjoyed the show. I'd probably give it a 10. But it's really fun. I like the characters. I like the creative elements that they add to it. Parasite is just an absolute menace. I want more of him. This was a very fun show to watch. And if it is the end of season 1, that sucks. But I really hope it gets a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited about it.
You know what I liked about Parasite?
Hmm.
Is that he got damaged in his suit, and it changed his appearance, but it did not give him powers.
Yeah, the suit.
Like he still needs the suit to do powers.
Yeah.
Like I like that. That was good on you guys.
I'm not sure that he's actually Parasite. I think they're going to introduce Parasite as one of Dr. Ivo's inventions.
You think so?
And it's going to incorporate whatever technology he used in that Parasite 1X suit.
Okay, that's an interesting take. I think it genuinely is Parasite, but oh well. Everybody's allowed their own opinion.
They call him Dr. Ivo. Dr. Ivo is his own supervillain.
But he calls himself Parasite. Yeah, he calls the suit Parasite. So
Tim, if we call you Dr. Doodoo Face and you call yourself Tim, who's right?
You are, obviously.
What are you gonna call yourself?
I'm Dr. Doodoo Face. Nice to meet you.
You heard it here. His new name is Dr. Doodoo Face.
Yeah.
Stop the presses. Do we have a story for you?
Yeah. Thanks for joining Greg, Devin, and Dr. Doodoo Face for the Cape Complainers.
Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And be sure to check out our YouTube channel at the Cape Complainers and our Twitch stream where we are streaming our episodes on Sundays at 6
p.m. Central.
6 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow the mothership at Vinyl Draft Podcast Network, as well as I-45 Now, and there's soon to be incorporated Pod Now section.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget that nobody complains like a fan. Stay classy out there, guys. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye. We should have classy music playing us out right here.
I didn't